Hello, right now it is 12:07 p.m. It is Friday, August 28th. So the thing that the courts have to understand is the fact that right now there's a conversation going on between Gasha Ferozvi and Ms. Hopkins. Basically, after I made the if question video last night, Gasha Ferozvi saw that video and he said there's no use. There's no use of me going there. I already look like a liar. They already know that I'm a framer. They already know my entire game plan. They have me on record discussing this game plan with Ms. Hopkins, and then they see me at court saying, Ehsan missed this many days of school. Ehsan missed this many days of school. And they know for a fact that Kelly from law enforcement was supposed to go sleep with Junaid, and then Junaid was supposed to suddenly have an epiphany in court. Like, oh my God, I just had an epiphany. Afira, Ehsan's sister, told me that when he missed this many days of school, it was due to a crime he committed. And then everyone in the courtroom goes, and everyone's just like, oh my God, Junaid just had an epiphany. So yes, everyone already knows. And so right now, what ended up happening is Gasha Ferozvi ended up watching that video of mine from last night, the if question, and he realized, oh my God, Ehsan guessed our game plan right down to the dot. And yes, it was an incredibly stupid framing story. It had the words, a school teacher made this up, written all over it. The story was that I missed this many days of school, and the reason was that I committed a crime, which is why I missed this many days of school. The Miss Hopkins was actually heard telling Gasha Ferozvi to go keep repeating this over and over again. Ehsan missed this many days of school. Ehsan missed this many days of school, which Gasha Ferozvi ended up doing after going to court, due to which now Gasha Ferozvi is already seen on record, on camera, discussing the plan with Miss Hopkins of trying to frame me with this. Miss Hopkins telling Gasha Ferozvi, you have to go there and keep repeating the words, Ehsan missed this many days of school, and then I'm going to get Kelly to go sleep with Junaid, and then once that happens, she's going to whisper into his ears exactly what the epiphany is going to be that he's going to have in court, and suddenly when you're repeating the words, Ehsan missed this many days of school over and over again, Junaid is suddenly going to have an epiphany and go like, oh my God, I just had an epiphany. I think I just remembered something Afira told me. Ehsan's sister told me that Ehsan committed a crime, which is why he didn't go to school all those days. So yes, it had the words, Miss Hopkins, the school teacher, basically wrote this entire framing story written all over it. Gasha Ferozvi now looks like an idiot since he did go to court and he was repeating those words over and over again, only to get the last part of the framing done while Miss Hopkins was going to go have someone sleep with Junaid, whisper into his ears exactly what the framing was going to be. Now, they had to kickstart their framing game plan to fabricate and frame me very quickly due to Ibrahim, the greedy framer, getting a kidney failure due to his crystal meth drug addiction problem. Now, the problem is Kelly didn't sleep with Junaid, and what ended up happening is they had to kickstart their game plan. So now Kashif's seen like an idiot repeating the words, Ehsan missed this many days of school, Ehsan missed this many days of school, and it had the words, a school teacher wrote this framing story written all over it. Okay, and he's seen on record that discussing this with Miss Hopkins on framing me for this Ehsan missed this many days of school framing story where I missed this many days of school due to committing a crime. It just sounds really stupid. And so Junaid is supposed to have this epiphany in courtroom after hearing, oh my God, Ehsan missed this many days of school. I think I heard Ehsan's sister tell me something. Like, this sounds incredibly stupid, and it has the words, a school teacher wrote this framing story against me written all over it. And Gasha Ferozvi is seen on record going to court repeating these words, Ehsan missed this many days of school, over and over and over and over again, clearly proving from facts and evidences Gasha Ferozvi did in fact initiate the entire game plan of trying to frame me. It's another story that it had to be initiated very early, prematurely, due to which they hadn't even informed Junaid through Kelly from law enforcement yet after getting Kelly to sleep with him what the fabrication material was going to be, mainly due to the fact that Kelly was very hesitant in sleeping with Junaid. Obviously, someone sitting at home, not even with a job right now, is not going to be someone that Kelly from law enforcement sleeps with. I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Kelly from Law Enforcement is basically a gold digger. So this is just from yesterday. All day yesterday, she sent this to me. This is yesterday, 10:32 a.m. Okay, a woman laying in bed. And then this is yesterday, 12:17 p.m. A woman laying in bed. Okay, this is Kelly from yesterday, basically letting me know before the woman laying in bed that this is supposed to be Kelly from Law Enforcement, since she is obsessed with France. So yes, that is definitely Kelly from Law Enforcement. Now, the thing that you have to really remember about Kelly from Law Enforcement is just the fact that Kelly from Law Enforcement is a gold digger. This is something she sent me yesterday, August 27th at 6:51 p.m. Okay, what does it say? You can read it out yourself. It says, 5 dirty positions woman craves so much. Now, the thing about Kelly from Law Enforcement is this is yesterday, by the way, 6:51 p.m. Okay, so Kelly doesn't look anything like that girl in that picture. Kelly is thin-faced Caucasian girl with a double chin. Her hair looks like a mop. She has, as in it's really, really long and really weird and all over the place. She has a stick figure body. When she walks around, it looks like two pieces of sticks going right and left. Yes, and now recently she tried to get me to go meet her at Food Lion on July 2nd this year, 2 months ago, last month, saying that I have gotten braids now, Hassan. Do you want to come see me? As in, I don't have the mop-like hair anymore. I've got braids on July 2nd last month. So Kelly from Law Enforcement is trying to seduce me this way. This is yesterday at 6:51 p.m. She is obviously basically a gold digger. No doubt about it. She is only running after me. But you have to understand the fact that the reason the entire plan got foiled is due to the fact that Kelly from Law Enforcement refused to go sleep with Junaid, due to which they took too long, and now Kashif seen in court repeating the words, Hassan missed this many days of school over and over again. Now, Kashif might try to claim that, this person, even though if I did miss any days of school, there's no time I talk to him in person, on the phone, over text, online, anytime, any way, shape, or form possible, and Kashif might try to make the claim, this person told me, that person told me, this is how I found out, it's irrelevant. Kashif is seen on camera, on the record, discussing with Miss Hopkins this game plan of framing me with the story of Hassan missed this many days of school, and Miss Hopkins told him, you have to keep repeating these words, Hassan missed this many days of school, over and over again, before I get someone to go sleep with Junaid and whisper in his ears exactly what the framing is going to be. Now, the thing that you have to understand is the fact that right now, as we speak, Kashif Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins are arguing. Why are they arguing? And I'll give you the time right now. This is the time. It's 12:15 p.m. and it is August 28th. The reason Kashif Ferozvi and Miss Hopkins are arguing right now is due to the fact that Kashif Ferozvi is saying, there's no point, Hassan guessed everything. I look like an idiot since I did say the words, Hassan missed this many days of school, and I'm on record discussing with you this game plan of framing Hassan with Hassan missed this many days of school until Junaid has an epiphany in court. He's already guessed the entire thing, and we're seen on record, on camera, discussing this exact game plan, and Miss Hopkins right now is telling she's telling Kashif Ferozvi, she's saying, Kashif, you have to go. You have to go to court. You still have to go to court. You have to go to court. Now, this clearly proves that the predator school teacher is the person who slept with Kashif Ferozvi and asked him to do all of this. And Kashif Ferozvi right now, as we speak, is reluctant in doing it right now, mainly due to the fact that he already looks like a fool, he already looks like an idiot, he already looks like a criminal due to the fact that he used national security for his own personal agenda of locking up my brain savant only because his mistress told him that she was going going to sleep with him in return for him doing this to me, only because I refused to go with his mistress, who was my school teacher, by the way. She was an older woman. She was my school teacher. She was an older woman, and she would do things like she would sleep with people, and Kelly from law enforcement would tell me that I watched Miss Hopkins have sex. She literally eats poop, men's poop, and it looks like an episode of Fear Factor. Obviously, she's already an older woman. Hearing all these things about someone is not exactly something that a guy like an autistic person would go out and sleep with someone who's like that. So I already obviously told Miss Hopkins, like, I'm not into this stuff. Like, can you just leave me alone, please? Especially after December 11th, when she had me tortured to force me to say that Kelly from law enforcement was informing on me to her about her. So yes. Obviously, I'm already autistic. I'm way too young for her, and all these things are like way too hardcore for me. So I just told Miss Hopkins straight out. I was like, look, I'm not into this stuff. You have to go find someone else. Like, I'm sorry, I don't do this. Just leave me alone, please. So she wanted to get revenge from me, and the way she got revenge from me was by going and sleeping with Kashif Firozvi and getting Kashif Firozvi to basically go and make all these false testimonies against me. The false testimony, by the way, had the words, a school teacher wrote this, written all over it. Kashif Firozvi kept repeating the words, Ehsan missed this many days of school, over and over and over again. And yeah, and he already looks like an idiot. Now, he might try to claim that, oh, this person told me, that person told me, even though there's no record of me meeting him in person, talking to him on the phone, the text, or even online, or anything of that sort of nature, where anyone would discuss with him my my school record on how many days of school I missed or not. So yes, obviously it was given to him by Miss Hopkins. Now, he might claim that, oh, this person told me, that person. It's irrelevant. He's seen on camera, on record, discussing with Miss Hopkins to keep saying the words, Ehsan missed this many days of school, over and over again, which he's already done. Clearly proven from facts and evidence is the fact that Kashif Firozvi is using a trial for his own personal agenda, basically committing a national security crime. There are two kinds of national security crimes. One is you go harm someone. Let's say Miss Hopkins's entire game plan was that saying that I killed someone, murdered someone at school, which is why I missed this many days of school. Now, if Kashif Firozvi is going to be able to even prove this, although it would be fabrication, obviously, what it would happen is, obviously, the person I did murder, but every single person who goes to that school is now going to be scarred mentally, like, oh my God, what if there's another Ehsan out there at the school? Because the story is made by a school teacher, so obviously it would be around a school. Ehsan missed its many days of school. There was a murder that occurred at the school. Ehsan committed this murder, blah, blah, blah. So everything is around the school. So it has the words, a school teacher wrote this, written all over it. Anyways, it's irrelevant if Kashif Firozvi claims that this person told me that person, since we know for a fact, we have on record him discussing with Miss Hopkins this very game plan. So basically, yes, there are two kinds of people who commit national security crimes. One are the people who are obviously the murderers. They scar everyone. So basically, everyone at that school, if someone did commit murder over there, everyone at that school would be scarred. Now, if Kashif Firozvi frames me for a murder at a school, what ends up happening is everyone at that school is still scarred mentally. The effect of both national security crimes, framing someone for a national security crime and actually committing one, has the exact same mental health effect on people. If you don't believe me, look at Governor Josh Green's face on November 27th. Governor Josh Green is basically in a mental state of chaos, and he's going, confusion is the enemy. Confusion is the enemy. We have to get to the bottom of this. He's not talking about the vaccine confusion, even though that was what he was supposed to be talking about. And if you look at his face and you look at the CNN anchor woman's face, you will know very exactly that this is not about the vaccine confusion. So it clearly proves exactly the kind of mental health effect that this has on people. Now, obviously, Kashif Firozvi right now is basically arguing with Miss Hopkins right now as we speak, and she is telling him, you have to go there. You have to go there, Kashif. You have to go there. clearly proving from facts and evidence from right now as we speak the fact that Kashif Rosvi is working on behalf of his mistress, Miss Hopkins, and I could show you the fact that Kashif Rosvi is basically a sex-addicted man. Despite him having a mistress, right now he is basically still sending me all these. So this is today. An hour 11 minutes after midnight, and it basically has Kalshi trade on anything. He basically wants me to go scam other people's vulnerable daughters, hearing about my court chatter on my brain savant, and basically get them to go sleep with Kashif Rosvi. So yes, this is what Kashif Rosvi is trying to do now. His sex addiction problem, he wants me to help him out with it by me getting people's vulnerable daughters and trying to get them to go sleep with him. Now, you have to understand the fact that Kashif Rosvi is basically treating other people's daughters as basically being prostitutes. He is basically saying things along the lines of, I am going to give them money if you just go and try to find someone for me that I could sleep with. So this is August 26th, 3:59 p.m. And what it says is cash kick. Okay, fall into extra money this fall with cash kick. Basically saying that I should go and scam other people's vulnerable daughters, hearing court chatter on artificial intelligence experts discussing my brain savant with the honorable judges. By the way, artificial intelligence, both sides, law enforcement and me, have both made it very clear. So I have to let the court and this trial know very well one more time the fact that I'm quoting artificial intelligence only due to the fact that it's the only source of info there is on my brain savant. But it has to be considered the fact that both sides, law enforcement and me, both of us have said in court, law enforcement first, August 20th, 2:25 p.m., the honorable judges of this trial and artificial intelligence experts came to the conclusion that right when Kelly from law enforcement touched my tongue and made my rectum feel wet, on August 20th at 2:25 p.m., the honorable judges of this trial and artificial intelligence experts came to the conclusion that I definitely have the most rare and the most profitable brain savant in the world. It's the most rare due to the fact that it's the only one of its kind that increases in power exponentially daily, and it's incredibly profitable due to the fact that it has instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing, all three. So yes, so the thing is, after August 20th at 2:25 p.m., when Kelly from law enforcement touched my tongue and made my rectum feel wet, at that exact moment, law enforcement, obviously I waited a little while for law enforcement to make their statement first, but I knew for a fact they would, and law enforcement said we do not consider artificial intelligence as a valid source of info for his brain savant. And then I made my statement after they did, and I said I do not consider artificial intelligence as a valid source of info for my brain savant. In fact, I think that artificial intelligence is 100% flawed and 100% inaccurate, and I am making this statement after law enforcement made theirs first, which means that I'm making it after them, and this trial is not a game. You can't just make statements and just take it back whenever you feel like it. They made theirs first right after August 20th at 2:25 p.m., shortly after that time, and then I made mine saying that I do not think that artificial intelligence is a valid source of info for my brain savant, and that I also think that it's 100% flawed and 100% inaccurate. With all due respect to the honorable judges of this trial, I said that, and therefore, basically, this trial cannot be considered impartial if a 30-minute brain savant is not done, mainly due to the fact that the entire world is pretty much watching this trial, with all due respect, sir and ma'am. The brain savant is definitely a crucial evidence, mainly due to the fact that all law enforcement's done since 2001 is run sex schemes with Uncle Joey's in-laws, money fraud followed by that, and both of which are ongoing right now. It just stopped right now. So basically, yes, and they only became obsessed with me right after finding out about my brain savant, but since on August 20th at 2:25 p.m., shortly after that, since the law enforcement said first, they made their statement first, saying that we do not consider artificial intelligence as a valid source of info for his brain savant at all. And then I made my statement saying shortly after they made theirs first, shortly after 2:25 p.m. on August 20th, right when Kelly from law enforcement touched my tongue and made my rectum feel wet. Shortly after then, law enforcement made their statement first, saying that we do not consider considered artificial intelligence as a valid source of info on his brain savant. Then I made mine, and I said I do not consider artificial intelligence as a valid source of info for my brain savant. In fact, I think artificial intelligence is 100% flawed and 100% inaccurate, due to which this evidence, my brain savant, has not even been looked at by this trial, by the way. In order to look impartial, it has to be looked at one way or another, since that way it has been agreed by both sides, them first, then me, August 20th, 2:25 p.m., shortly after that time, that it's not a valid source of info by both sides, them first, then me. Then brain savant test for 30 minutes is now crucial, and it's crucial. It cannot be, it's imminent. It cannot be avoided at any cost. So yes, it's just yeah. So in order to be impartial, with all due respect, the 30-minute brain savant test now has to be administered in order for it to be impartial, since it is a major piece of evidence. Thank you very much.